In Dubai, the world's biggest airline kitchen struggles to keep pace with the explosion of international travel.
We're always panicking.
This king-size kitchen works 24/7, preparing 50 million high-altitude meals every year.
It's constant movement, constant flow, no relaxing here.
On one of the busiest days of the year,
Time is of the essence, and we're losing minutes.
we meet the faces
Everybody loves it.
and the food
Good flavors, nice taste.
behind one of the world's biggest kitchens. Dubai, one of the fastest-growing cities in the world. Home to one of the world's busiest airports. And the world's biggest airline kitchen. The Emirates airline catering facility is as big as 10 American football fields.
We're not ordering by the kilos per day, we order by the ton.
Every day, this mega kitchen produces around 170,000 meals for flights traveling to 74 countries. It opened in 2007 and cost a purse-busting $159 million to build. And since then, it's delivered over 265 million meals, enough to feed all of Canada for a week. Head chef James Griffith really is the busiest cook in the world.
We are putting out one meal every 1.5 seconds.
His team of 520 chefs from 42 different countries cook up everything from steak to sushi and pastries to pasta.
It's important to offer a regional destination dish, giving people something they're familiar with, making them feel more at home on the aircraft.
Catering for 400 flights a day means this super-sized kitchen gets through 65,000 tons of raw ingredients a year. While James masterminds the meals, flight dispatcher Michael Deacon must put them on the right flight at the right time.
The pressure is on. We need to get that aircraft cleaned, catered, fueled, and back out. This is a 24/7 operation here in Dubai. Flights are departing and arriving all the time.
Today, Michael and the team are up against it. The airport is operating at full capacity, departing for New York in less than 2 hours with 489 hungry passengers on board is an enormous Airbus A380. And the lucky folk in first and business class are in for an Arabian extravaganza. The airline's signature starter, a mouth-watering Middle Eastern mezze, mutabal, kibbeh, tabbouleh, and their world-famous hummus. And to make it, they smash through 500 million chickpeas every year.
Everybody loves it, all nationalities.
The only man for the job is Lebanese chef Saeed El Ilam, a real master of mezze.
The main point that you need to make a dish which is authentic.
To make the ultimate hummus, Saeed cooks the chickpeas for 3 hours and blends.
This is what I'm looking for.
He then adds ice to preserve his precious puree, salt, tahini, olive oil, and lemon juice. A second blitzing gets it pipably smooth.
Beautiful.
Jumbo jets need jumbo-sized portions. To make mezze en masse, the chefs here blend 650 pounds of hummus a day in these massive machines. The hummus is the pièce de résistance in this Middle Eastern masterpiece, with the essence of the Emirates in every bite. Cooking high-quality food in such high volume puts the chefs here under high pressure.
Just gonna do a final check before we cover it.
And Saeed won't compromise. Every plate has to meet both his and the airline's sky-high standard.
So we'll make sure that everything is perfect.
Anything less, and it's back to the chopping board.
So we're gonna change these dishes. It's a bit dirty from the sides. Let's clean these things.
With just minutes to spare, the loading team gets Saeed's Mezzes onto the Airbus bound for the Big Apple.
It's important to stay calm under pressure, and that pressure is something that we thrive on.
The chefs turn out 1.46 million plates of this Middle Eastern medley a year, enough to stretch from Boston to New York. It's up, and mezze. And for business class, it's hummus o'clock.
The hummus was nice. For the amount of dishes they make every day, I think this is a very good standard.
Really nice, definitely in competition with those downtown in Dubai.
That's one giant of the sky airborne and fed. But for every plane that leaves, another one lands. Next on the tarmac is sold-out flight EK09 for London. With less than 2 hours till departure, the kitchen is about to get slammed.
We're under pressure because we need to make sure the food is ready on time so we don't have any flights delayed.
To feed the ravenous passengers, flight dispatcher Michael needs food.
There's so much to be loaded. If you can imagine catering a whole restaurant from scratch within 25, 30 minutes.
But Chief Chef James is busy elsewhere.
This is a big day. We're getting the final sign-off after 8 to 9 months of development work.
He's about to present 3 brand new dishes to airline bosses, with the hope they'll star on the new in-flight menu. They're a tough crowd.
We have some worries. Don't want too many changes.
At Dubai International Airport, flight EK09 for London has less than 2 hours to be filled with 1,500 dishes. Flight dispatcher Michael is in a race against time.
From the moment that aircraft pulls onto stand, we've got 105 minutes to get that aircraft cleaned, catered, fueled, and back ready and send it on its way to London.
While Michael watches the clock, head chef James should be overseeing the London flight's food, but he's tied up preparing 3 new dishes for sign-off that he hopes will end up on an all-new in-flight menu.
If there's a dramatic change, I think I'd quit.
The fate of James's brand new menu lies with the Emirates big cheeses, and they're notoriously tough to please.
Hi, good to see you. You all right?
Will all James's hard work pay off? The decision lies with head honcho Stefan Lotz.
Color-wise, dish looks nice.
Sumptuous tomato and pine nut ravioli, delectable black cod with vegetables, and tempting Tunisian spiced lamb.
They're all perfect dishes. We tasted everything. I'm happy with all of them, so they're all approved from my side. So again, thanks very much.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect.
They are all approved for takeoff.
That was very good. Well pleased. After 8 months of work, big team, they put a lot of work into this, and we got it signed off just like that.
Quality control is key in this colossal kitchen, and it doesn't stop once a dish gets on the menu, which is refreshed every 3 months. Every day, specialists spot check 300 meals to ensure they're up to the high-flying diners' high standards.
Quality for us is number 1.
And nowhere is it higher than in first class. And that's the turf of executive chef Mike Borsdorf. He's making sure the London flight gets gourmet grub to fly for.
In terms of the products we're using and also the food we are cooking, it has to be a highest standard.
Passengers on flight EK09 are being treated to the barbecued Kingfish, crowned with a velouté sauce and sitting on a throne of walnut-studded barley. This really is the king of cloud-level cuisine. Emirates chefs will fry up over 2.1 million fish fillets this year. That's a lot of Nemos to find. First, Mike makes fresh stock for the sauce by boiling fish bones with vegetables, fresh herbs, and peppercorns.
Now it smells really good. We're using the bones of the kingfish, so the flavor is quite intense as well.
To pack a real gastro punch, Mike makes a knockout barbecue rub. He mixes a secret blend of spices with brown sugar, slicks the kingfish with oil, and gives it a spicy rub down.
Nicely coating the fish.
He grills the kingfish steaks a minute each side for that fresh off the barbecue flavor.
We have sugar in there. It's gonna get lightly caramelized.
For a deluxe velvety sauce, Mike cooks out flour and butter and adds the kingfish stock.
There should be slightly creamy.
Then it's in with some cream, that punchy spice rub, and lemon juice.
A little bit spiciness from the cayenne. I think it's right.
Seasoning on plain food is vital, as high altitude reduces perceptions of sweet and salt by up to 1/3. It also affects the food's texture.
If the sauce is too thick and you reheat it on the aircraft, it will not look good. It will basically too thick. If it's too thin, then it's gonna, after reheating, basically look like water on the plate. So you have to make sure consistency is right.
Covered in that royally rich velouté sauce, this delicious kingfish really is haute cuisine for high flyers. Mike & Co. produce around 38.5 million gold standard mains a year, enough to feed the whole of California. There's less than 90 minutes until EK09 takes off. Mike's Kingfish must make the gold standard before it makes it to the flight.
Of course, we're under pressure because we need to make sure the food is ready on time. Our main goal is that we don't have any flights delayed.
But the heat just got turned right up. A senior team of taste testers arrive without notice to make a spot check. Mike's up for a grilling. Senior VP Duncan Davis is the man he has to impress today.
There's zero tolerance for mistakes with Emirates.
At Dubai Airport, ground staff are refueling flight EK09, ready for its 3,500-mile journey to London. But it's still missing one crucial element: food.
Today we're trying the barbecued kingfish.
The man preparing it is tied up with the taste testers. Chef Mike is hoping his kingfish makes the grade and impresses the big boss.
The barbecue rub is really very tasty. It's a combination of paprika and cayenne pepper, and it comes through very well.
Nothing is overpowering. Everything goes together with it. Fish is well flavored.
The barley is cooked on the dot. Got a nice bite on it.
It's not too heavy. I think it's a perfect dish.
Everybody liked the dish. No negative comments, which is of course good.
It's thumbs up for the kingfish, and the team loaded up for flight EK09 to London.
Nice dish, as expected.
First class may be sorted, but with the plane leaving in just 90 minutes, this mega kitchen is in overdrive. There's also a rush on for the washing up. Over 2.5 million items of dirty crockery, cutlery, and serving equipment travel on the 8,500-foot monorail system to the in-house dishwashers every day. The carts may be ready, but there's still no dessert. Which means it's panic stations in the pastry kitchen. No one works harder than these bakers, who churn out over 1 million cookies, croissants, and muffins a week.
It's the busiest, no holds barred, full production, full on.
Masterminding this mass of pastries is a master baker. And with over 25 years experience under his belt, veteran chef Peter Booz is the go-to guy for all things sweet.
We have a couple of guys that are just doing cookies every day. They do around 20, 22,000 a day. The muffin team, they're doing 22 to 25,000 a day. They have to make sure everything is in place. It can get quite stressful.
For today's packed flight to London, the economy class dessert is chocolate raspberry cake. A cocoa-soaked sponge laced with creamy coconut and a pop of raspberry. This is freshly baked bliss.
We're doing, on average, every day about 15,000 to 16,000 pieces. This batch here should make about 600 pieces.
Making cakes on this scale takes vast quantities of ingredients. And there's zero room for error.
Baking is a science. It has to be exactly the same weight every time.
We're adding vegetable oil first.
Next, it's in with 2 sacks of cake mix and ladle upon ladle of cocoa powder. Then, enough water to warrant its own plumbing.
It's a lot of water, yeah. But we're making a lot of cake.
Next up, 2 buckets of coconut.
Desiccated coconut and coconut milk powder.
Finally, it's in with the eggs.
We're adding 10 liters of liquid pasteurized egg. We go through 350 to 400 liters a day. You can't really crack that many eggs. About 10 minutes mixing, and that's all it needs.
They pour the batter into an automated dispenser, which fills up monster trays boasting 30 cake molds, 20 at a time. Raspberries top off each and every one of the 16,000 cakes a day. Then it's time to bake. This lip-smacking end to the meal is the cherry on top of the economy class cake. Well, the raspberry. This super sweet treat tickles a lot of taste buds. Every year, Peter's Kitchen bakes 5.5 million portions of cake, enough to feed the whole of Chicago twice over.
This rack here, we have 1,100 portions, and we do about 15 of these full trolleys every day.
One rack of cakes down, 14 more to go.
It's exciting, it's a bit stressful, but I enjoy what I do. It's a new challenge every day.
Just as Flight EK09 is ready to load, the team hit a glitch. Last-minute passenger upgrades mean tray setter Dean has to magic up more meals for the plane.
We've just got an increase free for 2 first-class meals. We need to make sure we get them tray sets. We've probably got around about 6 to 7 minutes to make that happen now.
We really need those trucks to arrive shortly. Time is of the essence, and we're losing minutes.
In Dubai, Flight EK09 to London is waiting. There's just 1 hour to go for the ground team to stock it with carts carrying 500 three-course meals.
Cheers, Lindsay. Okay, ready to go?
Tray setter Dean has less than 10 minutes to magic up 2 first-class meal upgrades.
It's tight, but it happens.
Time to relax then, Dean?
We're always panicking.
First class is still minus dessert. Over in the supersized pastry kitchen, veteran chef Peter is breaking a sweat to turn out 100 plates of pastries in time.
We make it fresh. They're made as close to departure time as possible, so we can make, bake, and send it on the flights quickly.
This mouth-watering medley is the ultimate show-stopping finale to the first-class meal. Cherry crumble, chocolate ganache, and coconut cake all lead up to the star attraction, the Turkish baklava. A delicate pistachio-filled phyllo pastry, baklava is a tough treat to master on a small scale, let alone turning out 5,000 of them a day. It's a highly skilled job that Syrian Fadi Al-Zir has been doing for the last 20 years.
This involves quite a bit of skill, taking the dough and rolling it to paper-thin width.
Fadi dusts sheets of dough with corn flour and layers them up 10 times. Now this is where his pastry skills really come in, rolling all 10 layers paper-thin.
You can actually see through them. Yeah, they'll be so thin.
Next, Fadi cuts the pastry into identical squares and fills each one with sliced pistachios. Time for some Turkish origami. He skillfully folds every single one of the thousands of baklava by hand.
To complete one tray, 180 to 200 pieces, takes about an hour. Not everybody can do it. It's highly specialized.
They douse the titanic tray of Turkish delights in butter, bake, then lash with syrup.
That's perfect. That's destined for an A380 flight for sure.
The Turkish baklava is the final flourish on this quartet of delectable desserts. Every year, Peter and his team get through a mind-boggling 6.7 million pistachios for the baklava. They produce 250,000 first-class pastries a month, enough to stretch the length of the Golden Gate Bridge 10 times over. Now's the time for the mass meal mobilization. Workers arrange every last one of the 1,500 dishes onto trays, stack them into 140 empty carts, and load them onto 2 trucks bound for the waiting aircraft. With minutes to spare, the cakes make it onto the plane, which can finally head out to the runway. And from Dubai to the sky, the chef's Herculean efforts are soon going down a treat. First up is the first-class fish dish.
I thought maybe they had a chef actually on board because it's so fresh, it's such a delicious taste, and it's so beautifully presented.
Next, a little something to sweeten the deal.
The baklava was great. It was sticky, sweet, and gorgeous.
I reckon that's as good as you get on the streets of any Arab city in the Middle East.
And in economy, the food is also going down a storm.
Started with a prawn salad, which was delicious.
I had a mustard and chicken for the main meal, lovely vegetables, and for the dessert we had chocolate and raspberry cake.
It was really chocolatey, really moist.
A nice cold raspberry filling in it, it's really nice.
With hundreds of smiles 5 miles high, Peter and the rest of the team reflect on a job well done.
It was pretty stressful at certain points, but it all came together. I can go home and relax and look at tomorrow like it's a new day.
Looking forward coming back tomorrow and then the same all over again.
But they can't kick back for long.
Clock's always ticking, even when I'm not here.